Y'all, we gotta talk about the never ever Mets. Child, they always got too much going on every single night. But let's get into it, y'all. First of all, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here on my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. This video, we are talking the Never Ever Mets, season 1, episode 7, the Newlymet Game. Yes, I'm a couple days late, but I'm here, so let's get into it. Before we do, though, please do not hesitate to click that thumbs up button for me, y'all. It will really help support the channel, push it through the crazy YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel, please, y'all. It's a growing channel. Watch the video all the way through. Share the video where you have to share your content. And comment down below. We got some things to talk about, so I need some comments. Let me know what y'all thinking. So, especially about that ending. Anyway, let's get into it. So basically, the episode picks up where they left off last week, where Millie and Greg were having their therapy session with Dr. Allie, I believe her name was. And Greg did share what he's been through. So basically, he shared that he's been starts with an M, ends with a D, if you know what I mean. Okay. I don't want to say a word on the channel, but if y'all watched it, y'all know what's happened to him. He's been violated. Okay. He said he's never talked about it before with anyone. So I'm assuming he hasn't been to therapy and he's another person that needs to heal. We did see Millie kind of touch his hand while he shared, but then she put it back in her coat because I think she was cold. And so she's surprised because she never heard any of this before. I don't know what Greg and Millie were talking about for 3 years all this time because he didn't know her birthday. We're going to find out later. Like, what y'all been doing? Anyway, so, he did blame himself, especially as a man. He's thinking what he could have done different and all that. And Dr. Ali supported him and thanked him for sharing. And she said to both of them, it could be hard to hear each other's stories because they've been through similar things, but they could also try to use that as a way of like bonding and helping each other and all that. I don't know if they're there yet. In my opinion, I think they need to do some. I get what. Well, I think they need to do some individual healing, but I get what Dr. Ali is saying. But I think they need to both just do some individual counseling, and then maybe they can use the tools they both have gotten to like help each other. I don't know. So anyway, back in the house, Millie was very supportive of Greg, and she's just, giving him a pep talk, talking about, he needs to let that stuff out, and you don't want to be old and still carrying that. And Greg says something in his confessional similar to that he, thinks this is what's been bothering him this whole time. And she was saying, it's not, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be fulfilled. I can't make you happy. You can't make me happy. We can have kids. We do this. And, you just need to, speak your truth and all this stuff. So I'm like, girl, how are you pouring into Greg now when you was over here flipping out last week? Like, I was like, okay, girl. Like, what Millie was saying was good, but now I can't even take you seriously at this point because of what you got going on. But she was telling the right thing. And so he's like, okay, you're not scared. You're not going to run. She's like, no, I'm right here. They hugged it out and they're good. So then the next day or whenever later, Millie's going around to the men and telling Papa Aaron as well as Lil Aaron and I think Chris or somebody else was out there letting them know that she's going to be throwing a birthday party for Greg because his birthday's coming up on Monday. And she's going to have like a 90s themed birthday party for him. And so, she said she's going to have jello shots and all that, but it's going to be a surprise, so don't tell him, okay? So that's sweet of her, right? So then we get to Rhonda. So Rhonda gets everyone together and has them sit outside, and they're going to play the Newlymet game. She said we're getting, further to the end of the process. We got to see how much you guys have really got to know each other or not. So basically, Rhonda asked a question about your partner. And if your answers match, then you put them in your book that's on the table. If they don't match, you shred it. Okay. So the idea is to see like who really knows the most about each other. I think first question was something about like when did they first meet or first connect or something like that. So Josh and Shay said Friday, and I think Millie and Greg got their answer right. They said 3 years ago. Sandia and Chris got their answer right. Jody, Aaron said, "Don't worry, Jody. He got her." So anyway, I'm not going to go through every single question. And Papa Aaron was surprised at how many questions Jody and Lil Aaron were getting right, and he said he could tell that Aaron likes Jody a lot, but Jody doesn't like him. I'm like, mind your business, Aaron H. Just mind your business. Anyway, then Greg didn't know Millie's birthday. He just knew it was June. He said his pen wasn't working, all this stuff. So Millie was not pleased with that. They did ask about favorite sexual position. He got that right. She was like, it's more than sex, is in the head as well. And she's like, I want her trying to plan his birthday party for him, and he don't even know my birthday. So Greg was missing quite a bit of answers. He was so flustered. He was like, dang, I gotta get to the boom boom room. I'm like, Greg, you just too eager. You too eager at this point. They was like, calm down, dude. Shay and Josh were getting quite a bit of questions right, of course. Chris and Sandia they missed a couple questions. They didn't get everything right. Taronda asked, one of the other good questions Taronda asked was, what is something that has been a barrier in your relationship? And so I think Millie put communication and Greg put laundry or something like that. Anyway, Papa Aaron, his was him proposing to someone else. And I think Dymond put the same thing. So Taronda said propose to somebody else. She said, when did that happen? He said he don't want to talk about it. I see, that's my thing with Papa Aaron. You so worried about everybody else's stuff, but you don't want to talk about what you got going on in your yard. That's the issue. So Shay and Josh's was, of course, Shay saying that Josh had a baby with somebody else, and she did explain that more in the confessional from her side of things about how she was at work one day and Josh called her and let her know that he got somebody else pregnant and the girl's gonna have a baby. All right, she said that they have been together for some years before that happened. After finding out that news, she was devastated. They stopped talking for 2 years, and then later on, they reconnected, and it was like no time had passed, right? So that's how they got back on the same page. I figured they had to have some kind of gap with 12 years. I figured that. So that makes more sense. Girl, but you still took him back after he had a baby? Like, it was nobody near you in Miami or wherever you live? I guess. Anyway, I ain't gonna stay online with no man that had a baby on me. I'm just not. But that's me. So anyway, maybe options were few where Shay lived. I don't know. Like I said, Chris and Sandia were struggling with some of their questions. I forgot one thing that Chris didn't know, and Taronda was like, shame on you, Chris. Anyway, the game was, very telling. And so Greg was talking with the fellas after the game, and Aaron J was saying that he feels like the game was like a test to kind of see where you are with things. Not necessarily an activity to push them closer together, maybe like the other activities have done, right? So anyway, Greg felt bad that he didn't get all the answers right. Millie's talking to the girls about the birthday thing, and Shay's like, yeah, Josh better not have ever done that. Well, he's gonna do something worse, girl. But anyway, and Jody's talking about how, they just work so hard to show that they like you, and I don't know. And Millie's like, yeah, like he's so, he's trying, but dang, he didn't get that right, and it's all mental, before the physical. And so she said, she'd been showing him affection, kissing him, hugging him. She'd make him breakfast sometimes. She'd make him some tea. So she's like, man, I'm trying to put, she's trying to do this birthday party. She kind of discouraged and disappointed. Greg's talking to the fellas, and they're like, dang, you still ain't, y'all still ain't went to the boom boom room or did nothing. And Greg's like, no, but I'm trying to keep it mental. I'm trying to get to know her better. Like, I know we'll get there. And they're like, yeah, like it's, we gonna see Greg. So anyway, so Aaron Aaron was talking to the fellas about the situation with the beds, and he said that kind of set them back, but he has a romantic date plan for him and Jody, and he hopes it gets them back on the same page, right? So Aaron said he's had a hard time planning a second date with Jody, and so now he finally got this photo shoot plan, and they both enjoy the creative process and doing photo shoots and things like that. So he thinks she will be into it. So they go do this photo shoot. I guess she always fantasized about doing like a Queen of Hearts off with your head kind of photo shoot. So I don't know if that's what the theme was supposed to be. It's kind of looking all over the place, but she was in like a red devil, maybe dominatrix kind of thing, and he got on this Burger King crown on his head, but it was cute. It was cute. So they doing the photo shoot. It's getting, hot and heavy, but not in the way y'all think it would have been. Like in the previews, I was like, okay, finally we getting somewhere. But then when you watch the episode, we're not getting anywhere. Now, Aaron, he was very much into it. He was giving very much sensuality, sexuality. He was giving all the things, right? However, when I'm looking at Jody, it was like very dead behind the eyes. Was it just me? Or was Jody giving very much dead behind the eyes? And when the cameraman was telling them to look in each other's eyes and do all these things, like she wasn't looking at him. I was looking at her eyes. She was either looking up like this a lot of times, and she wasn't like looking up into his eyes. Like it was like she was looking off somewhere else. Like she looked like she was not present in the moment. Was that just me? She was not giving present in the moment. And I was like, oh, she could not be bothered. She cannot. So he ended up kissing her, and she shared in the confessional that kiss, she felt nothing from it. She don't know what she was supposed to feel, but she didn't feel anything from it. I said, Jody can't be bothered. She cannot be bothered. Aaron, however, he enjoyed the kiss. And he said all the sexual tension was building between them. We didn't see it, Aaron. You was feeling something, but she was feeling nothing, okay? So, I'm sorry. Anyway, so they end up, finishing up the photo shoot. Now, back at the house, Chris and Sandia's friends come to visit because we still got friends and family coming. I forgot about the friends and family coming to this episode. I was like, oh yeah, have we got everyone's friends and family yet? I think we just need Josh and Shay's friends and family, right? I think they're the only ones who hasn't had the friends and family visit yet, which I don't know now. I don't know if they're gonna even get there. I feel like everyone's falling apart on this show. Like now, I don't really see who's gonna make it to the end. I really don't see it. So Chris's friend Benz comes to visit. He's a mess. And Sandia's best friend Stephanie comes to visit. My best friend's name is Stephanie. Anyway, so Benz is like, man, did you smash her yet? You know how these girls are. And so Chris is like, no, I'm trying to, I'm a relationship guy and I'm trying to really get to know her and take it slow. And so Benz is like, nah, man, get out of here with that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know how you are. And so Chris is like, nah, let me tell you, like, I really like her. Like, she's nice, sweetest, kindest person. And the thing I really like about her is that she doesn't have much of a past. Now, men that say stuff like that irritate me as well. These men be swearing they want a woman that's a virgin, or they swear they want a woman that, hasn't had a lot of partners and all that. What about how many partners you've had? You want us to be, super virgin or whatever, but then you could be out there hoeing any kind of way you like. That's not how it works. How many partners have you had, Chris? Let's worry about you. So Ben's is like, yeah, you don't know how many she's told you. You know how these women did when you get to having those conversations and they don't like to be honest and all this stuff. And so Chris is worried because Ben's mouth be running off. Ben says everything Chris was saying when he first got to the house. Okay. And they birds of a feather flock together. They're the same person. It's just Chris is just trying to clean it up now. And he's trying to do a little better. But, I don't know if we buying it yet. Anyway, Sandia's talking to Stephanie on the sofa. And she's saying, she does see a future with Chris. She said when they first got to the house, none of the women can stand Chris. But now they see how he is. And now they're like singing his praises. I ain't seen that. I'm not sure what we're being shown, but we haven't seen that yet. But okay. Now, I did appreciate how Chris did not try. He tried not to escalate with Millie. Was that last week or whatever? Until he did end up calling her a slut and all that. But he, he tried to hold off when she was calling him B words and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I guess he nice enough, I guess. Anyway. Whatever Sandia like, we not fighting her battles. She like it, we love it. So, she feels like they can work it out, whatever. So then they all force it down on the sofa. And so Ben's is like, because you know what? Like, I know my man Chris, like, y'all haven't had sex. If the sex is not good, then he's bouncing. And He don't care about relationships. And then Chris is like, no, that's not me. I'm a relationship guy. I'm not like that. He's like, no, dude, that's not me. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. And so he's trying to tell Stephanie that Ben's is like, nah, you women just want someone that's going to be faithful, not do this, not do that, and be monogamous. You think you're going to be in a monogamous relationship? And Stephanie's like, yes, of course. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, nah, that's not possible. And so she's like, wait, what? Like, and so Sandia is like, if, Ben's going to be influencing Chris, like, well, this is not going to work. And so Chris is like, nah, like, that's not me. Like, chill out, bro. He had to tell his friend to be quiet. Like, you doing too much. Ben said men don't cheat. They just explore their options. He sounded stupid. I hope to God this is all make believe because but there's men who talk like that. So I'm just like, I mean, it could have been real. Okay. Anyway, Ben's one of them people he don't need to open his mouth. Chris is like, okay, Benz, you talking too much, because basically Benz is exposing how Chris really is. All he did, for, in my opinion, Benz is like, Chris is who he showed y'all he was on day one. He's that guy because we that way together. Trust me. Anyway, Chris told Stephanie, like, I can see you guys are really good friends and you really like her. So he felt like he got Stephanie's approval. I don't know. Anyway. Now, moving on from that, because they wasn't really had nothing going on but that stupid conversation. Now, Jody and little Aaron's son Aaron came back home, and it was even very much dry. Like, again, she couldn't be bothered. And I guess it was some pizza on the table, and so she told him to heat her up a couple pieces of cheese or something. And he's like, "What'd you say?" She's like, "Never mind." So they sitting there eating pizza. She's quiet, and she was saying in her confessional when they were at the photo shoot that, maybe she should take this time to tell Aaron that she's really not feeling him like that or having any feelings for him, and she doesn't really know. I'm like, girl, we can tell. Like, finally, you're being honest. So Chris is looking like, oh, they came back from that photo shoot. It's very much giving crickets. Like, like they look like they in a bad mood. What's going on? And Aaron said when they got back that you could feel the tension. Like, it was very awkward energy between them again. So they were sitting there quiet, and so Chris has asked, Josh and Chris are sitting right there, and they're asking about the photo shoot. Well, mostly Chris was asking, and so he was like, "Did you guys do matching outfits? Like, what's going on?" And so he was like, "Oh yeah," he's explaining everything they did and how fun it was. And at the photo shoot, Jody did say it was better than the first day, and she had a good time. But girl, you don't look like you had a good time. So I mean, I think she enjoyed herself as far as doing the photo shoot, but I don't think she enjoyed being with Aaron is what I think. So anyway, Chris is like, y'all tired or something? And so they're like, yeah, we tired. And so anyway, Chris, like I said, is noticing their energy is off and it's just getting very much weird. So Jody went to bed, and so Chris, Josh, and Aaron J are talking. And so, they're asking him about the photo shoot and how it went. And Aaron said he thought it was good, but now he's not sure. And then, he tells them, well, they asked, did y'all, do anything sexual? And he tells about the kiss and how he went in for it. Josh was like, okay, that's good. And so Aaron said, he didn't want to let anything in the house keep them from being like a united front, but at the same time, like, he's not sure what else to do, like to move the relationship forward. Chris said, you know what? I really like Jody. Like, I'm really close to Jody. I'm the closest to her in the house. And I really like the way I see that you treat Jody, and you deserve to be treated well. Also, like, you're one of the nicest, respectful people in the house, and you deserve to, have that reciprocated to you. And I like what Chris did say to him in this moment. And so Aaron is like, I don't do things for reciprocity, but at the same time, you guys are not wrong for seeing things the way you do and feeling how you feel. And I know you're not the only ones. So Aaron J finally admits that, no, we know we're not tripping. Like, when we see you and Jody, it is what we're seeing. Anyway, and so Josh was like, you like that girl, it's okay. But basically they're saying, like, it's not fair that you're doing all this effort and then you could tell that she doesn't like you, basically. At some point we seen Josh and Greg have a conversation outside about the whole situation with Millie and the birthday thing. And And Josh is just trying to give Greg some advice on how to handle that. And they talk about how you catch more bees with honey than you do vinegar. My grandma always said that. Anyway, producers, what Josh said, he understood how Millie feels because women are more sensitive about the birthday things. But he was like, well, at least Greg knew the month that it was June. So the producers like Pop Quiz, one of Shay's birthday. He said June 30th. Like, I know mine. So we get through all that. We get to the end of the night. And Shay said everything was going good. They were having a good time. And then Dymond comes with the BS. So Dymond comes with that damn thing on her head, and that everybody says for laying your wig. I don't use that. So I don't know why she's wearing around like it's like a scarf on her head. Like, girl, what is that? Why? Girl, why? So, or at least put a scarf on top of it. Like, what is happening, Dymond? Anyway, Mama Dymond come with her bond with all her stuff. Now it was weirdly chopped scene because when we first saw Mama Dymond, she's wearing that blue dress and that thing on her head. But then later on, she came with her pajamas and her bonnet on. Okay, so she tells Shay like, hey, because Shay and Josh was about to head on to the boom boom room, right? They had their backpacks packed up and everything. So she was like, yeah, I've been keeping in contact with Alexis because I think she's cool people. And I hate she got kicked out of the house. And she's telling me she needs to tell Shay something. She's like, well, what you need to tell her? She said, I need to tell her that Josh tried me. And so Shay's like, try me how? And so she was like, sexually. And Dymond said, yes, sexually. So Shay's like, are you kidding me? Like, what are you saying? And so Dymond's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, my brother? Because I guess she sees Josh as a brother now. Girl, you don't know that man. Anyway. And so Shay's like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. Like, I can't believe it. Dymond's like, okay, had he ever talked to you about this before? Like, what's up? And so Shay says that they were all hanging out in the room the first night or whatever they were in the house. It was Josh, Shay, and Alexis. And they were all talking. And so Shay eventually fell asleep. And then Josh and Alexis went in the hallway. And she said she woke up out her sleep and she never wakes up like in the middle of the night of her sleep. But she's like, I guess that was God trying to, wake me up or something. And so she said that all Josh told her was Shay was saying, no, Alexis was saying something about coming in the room. Josh told how it went from her perspective. We'll get there. Let me not jump ahead. So anyway, Shay said that Josh said that he wanted to F her than he could have. Because I guess Alexis was in the room talking real loud about sex and all this stuff or having a threesome or something like that. And so, and Josh told Alexis if he wanted to F that girl, he could have. I don't like when men say stuff like that. I don't like it. So already I'm like, And then why would Alexis say this, right? So first I'm like, this feels very much like a scheme set up by Todd and the Never Ever Met's producers. That's what it's giving. But I don't put it past Alexis and Josh, okay? So then, they go to commercial, we come back. Shay, Dymond's like telling her, don't confront it now because you don't have the evidence. And Shay's like, yeah, all I got is words. She's like, wait, and then, when you get all the evidence, you could explode. So they go to the boom room. So as soon as Shay sits down, she's like, Josh, did you try to F Alexis? Dymond just told me some stuff. Like, did you try to F Alexis? He's like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. So Josh explains the story that they, like I said, they're all three in the room. They all, met that night or whatever. And I guess Alexis said something about, oh, am I going to have to sit in here and hear y'all have sex? And so Josh was like, oh, no, Shay's not into that. And so I guess Alexis made a joke about like, oh, ain't no fun if the homies don't have none. So then Shay fell asleep and they went in the hallway because I guess Alexis was still like talking loud and all this. And so then they went in the hallway. Now, Dymond told it to Shay and said that Alexis said that Josh took her into the hallway because try to have sex with her because there's no cameras around. I was like, this is just a fool. This is a fool. So anyway, So Shay is confronting Josh, and Josh is like, "No, I did not try to f that girl." And he was like, "Why would?" He's like, "No." He's like, kind of get a little bit like activated, like, "No, I did not try to f that girl. No, I didn't. I'm trying to tell you the truth." And so then Dymond comes in, she's just standing there, and I was like, "Why is Mama Dymond back in here? Like, you already collected the bone and ran it back. Like, why are you down in the boom boom room with them, with this bonnet on, these pajamas on? You've been very much Mama finna get it together." So she's like, "Nah, because I'm the one being played. I'm the one to be looking made looking dumb right now." So Josh and I'm like, "Girl, no, you not. No, you not." So I'm like, "Okay, but you're the one that told it, Dymond, and you got it from Alexis. Because if you didn't believe Alexis, why are you running to tell it then? It don't make sense. None of this makes sense." So anyway, Josh is like, "No, I did not." He's getting a little loud. And he's like, "No, I did not try to F that girl. No, I didn't." He's like, "Why would I even tell you anything?" Because Shay's like, "You are leaving things out," because she's like, "You're not telling the whole story." And so he's like, "No, if I wouldn't have told you anything, if I would have F'd her." He's like, "If I wanted to, I could have F'd that girl and you would not have even known anything." And then for that moment is when I said, "Oh, I believe Alexis and Josh are equally guilty. They're equally guilty." So Shay is upset. She runs off to the bathroom somewhere. I guess it was out of the boom boom room. And then Dymond went to talk to her, and Shay's like, "I want to go home to my mama." And Dymond was just consoling her, saying, "I want you to have thrown 12 years away." And girl, if you got thrown 12 years away to be with someone who's better, then you need to throw them away. Like, what? So she's like, "Girl, you need to, figure it out." And so Alexis says she hated to tell. I mean, Dymond said she hated to tell Shay this, but she wanted her to, I guess, research it and figure it out for herself. Like, girl, bye. For someone who didn't want catty messiness, you the main catty messy person, Dymond. Anyway, Shay goes back to the house and she's like grilling Josh again. He's like, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't." And he did not even go after her. And I was like, I don't know. I think they tried each other a little bit. I think they're equally guilty. Like, I don't think Alexis is telling her, like, "Oh my gosh, girl, he tried to F me," like she was innocent in it. I think that she wanted it and he wanted it. I think they talked about it. I very much do believe they both talked about it. And if he could have sex with his roommate and get her pregnant, he is not to be trusted. So, I hate to see them fall apart because they did seem like the best couples. And I say that very loosely when I say best. But nah, like Shay, you deserve better. Like, if that's how Josh is moving, and if it's true, you deserve better. Now, if this is some BS that production made up, then that is what it is. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think this is a mess that production made up, or do you think that Josh really tried to have sex with Alexis? Do you agree with me? Do you think that Josh and Alexis both played a part in it? Y'all let me know. Comment down below. I will comment back. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to y'all again very soon.